This is Psalms chapter 2, verse 1. Why do the heathen rage, and the people imagine a vain thing? The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, and against his anointed, saying, Let us break their bands asunder, and cast away their cords from us. He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh, and the Lord shall have them in derision. Then shall he speak unto them in his wrath, and vex them in his sore displeasure. Yet I have set my king upon my holy hill of Zion. I will declare the decree. Yahweh have said unto me, Thou art my son, this day have I begotten thee. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron, thou shalt dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel. Be wise now, therefore, O ye kings. Be instructed, ye judges of the earth. Serve Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai with fear, and rejoice with trembling. Kiss the Son, lest he be angry, and ye perish from the way, when his wrath is kindled but a little. Blessed are all they that put their trust in him. Shalom, shalom. Before I begin this lesson, all praise, honor, and glory goes to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders and bishops of Great Millstone that rule well, and peace and blessings be multiplied on all you brethren out there teaching his word in all sincerity and in truth. Shalom to the hopeful elect, 144,000. I'm the brother Dama Agabar, here with another lesson, Lord willing to edify through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Yahweh Shai. All right. And I started this with Psalms, the second chapter, dealing with basically the kings of this earth. All right. And that how they're setting themselves and the rulers with them, all of these elites, these so-called higher ups, they're basically the kings of the earth, these international bankers, the Rothschilds, these different families that, move in the shadows, those are the rulers of the earth. These are the ones that are, meeting and taking counsel against ultimately the plans of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, and against prophecy and against the counsel of the Heavenly Father. And these devils are, meeting in secret to plan on how they're going to basically take over the world and enslave all of humanity, with this new world order, with this digital slave system that these elites are, concocting, and how they're going to microchip all of humanity, man, and make everybody slaves to this new technological, rulership that Esau Edom, these elites are trying to establish. And here, the Lord is saying that the Lord is sitting in the heavens. He's laughing at these devils, man. And that's, they got that saying, if you want to make God laugh, then tell him your plans. And that's what these elites think that they're doing through their technology, through their wisdom, through sorcery, through witchcraft, through basically all ways that are in opposition to the Heavenly Father. All right. And the cool part about it is these elites, these, the wicked, they know that Yahweh exists. They know that the Most High is, that he is, They understand, his counsel and how, he's laid this earth to be ruled and how things should be governed. But they don't want to be under they don't want to, they're trying to break themselves free from the rule of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. You'll hear Klaus Schwab and that guy Noah Harari. They're talking about how technology, they'll become gods. That they don't have to fear a God that's in the heavens, because through their technology, through AI, they think they're going to somehow find a way to break themselves free from the slavery and the rule of the Heavenly Father, man. That they're going to upset prophecy, that they're going to microchip all of the Israelites, that they're going to find, use technology to find a way to dethrone Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, which is absolutely insane. But hey, that's what these devils have, in their thoughts and in their plans, But as we know, at the end of the day, the Lord is going to send back Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. He's going to send back Yahweh Shai, Salakia, to come and dethrone these devils, man. And they're all going into captivity. They're all going into slavery. All of you heathen nations, man. Even these elites, the so-called 1%, these Rothschilds, these banking families, these, the real movers and shakers of this world. Hey, they're all going into captivity. They're all going to be, as I say here, they're all going to be slapped with chains. They're all going to be, the inheritance of Yahweh Shai when he comes back this second time to establish his dominance, his rulership, and his government and kingdom on this planet Earth, man. You see, what does it say here in verse 9? He's going to break them with a rod of iron, man. All of these international bankers, these elites, they're all going to be broken by Yahushua when he comes back to make his second return. All right. And there's no maneuvering. There's nothing that these devils can do that's going to stop that, man. That's why the Lord is sitting in the heavens and he's laughing at this shit right here. You know, this is a 2025 Bilderberg meeting. Attendees revealed global elites convene in secret amid global chaos. You see, and that further shows you that, you know, conspiracies are real, which means what? Two or more coming together to do something wicked, man. You see, and that's what these elites are doing. Meanwhile, while all hell is breaking loose, you know, throughout the world, the situation with Israel and Iran, bombs being shot, missiles being launched. You know, you got all of this chaos and these so-called manufactured, these manufactured protests taking place here in Babylon the Great. You know, a lot of these things are being orchestrated by these same individuals that meet in the shadows to, you know, to get their agendas done, man. But as it says, what the Lord is sitting in the heavens and is laughing at this shit, man. And it shows you that, you know, it is a conspiracy and it is global elites that's convening privately without, without the public being able to really know what the hell they're talking about. But we know it's all, you know, to bring in this new world order, man. Like I said, to microchip all of humanity, to enslave everybody and use AI and artificial intelligence to make these guys gods, you know, geoengineering the earth, the depopulation programs, how they're gonna, destroy Yahweh's people, put microchips in all the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, upset prophecy, and sit, on the throne of AI and technology as gods forever and ever, man. But it's all going to be busted down by Yahweh Bashem Yahushua at the end of the day, man. So it says here, Bilderberg's 71st meeting kicked off in Stockholm, Sweden Thursday, where global elites convened behind closed doors amid tensions across Europe and the Middle East, and against the backdrop of President Donald Trump's assault on their favorite thing of all time, globalism. Because that's what they're meeting for, how they're going to get this globalist agenda on board, how they're going to, set the stage for more collapse, more cyber attacks, more fear mongering, more psychological operations, more ways to destabilize this current system, financial system as we know it, to bring in this new digital beast system, man. This is what these devils are meeting about. They're not meeting about how to clean up the earth and how to do, how to set up a righteous authority and, set up a world that's going to, how to cure cancer and, clean up the oceans and, all things that righteous men would be meeting and talking about. They're meeting to do nothing but pure wickedness and evil. And let's get this, man. I'm not going to make this a long lesson. This is Psalm 64. It says, Psalm 64:2, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked. And that's what this is, the secret counsel of the wicked, man, who are convening and coming together to do what? It says, from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. You see, because all they're working in those meetings is iniquity. How they're going to enslave everybody, how they're going to collapse this financial system, how they're going to put micro C-hips in everybody, how they're going to put you in 15-minute cities, establish, carbon taxes, charge you for every single activity and everything that you do on this earth, different things of that nature, man. They're all getting together to work iniquity, man, and wickedness and sin and evil, and how basically, they're trying to fight against the counsel of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai and establish their own counsel and, establish themselves forever, man. It says, who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Who's the perfect? The Israelites, the elect, man. All right. They're figuring out ways in these meetings how they could, stop this word, locking up the prophets and the men of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, figuring out ways to use AI to plot and to, set up a false representation of the true prophets, man. They're going to use AI to accuse the men of the Lord of being seditious, of being traitors, of being enemies of the state, of probably trying to, do some type of attack or whatever. all so that they could shoot at the prophets and the men of the Lord and the people of the Most High, you know? It says, suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. Why? Because, they do a lot of these things in secret. They do a lot of these things behind closed doors, and then they'll present them to the world as if these are just, natural occurring situations. But a lot of this shit is being orchestrated. A lot of it is, planned out, like these whole protests. Everybody's finding out that these things are being funded by, particular individuals, George Soros, a lot of this money is being used to fund these color revolutions, these riots, and different things of that nature, all so that they could, bring the chaos so that they can bring order and establish this new world order, man. You see? It says they encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? Like this meeting, like everybody know that they have these meetings, but a lot of the information that's being spoke in this particular, bilderberg meeting, the news media, they don't have access. Like the WEF, the WEF, they'll allow media to go in there. They'll allow you to hear some of the shit that they're talking about. But then even with the WEF, there's segments of their meetings to where the press can have access, where only particular people are, given RSVP to go and to hear those different talks, But some of it they'll talk about publicly, openly. They'll let reporters in, but then they have the second part to where, hey, the media can't come in here. This is only for those that are selected to come in here and to hear these things. And it's the same with this Bilderberg meeting, but this one, the media has no access. It says the shadowy group. See, it's basically it's a conspiracy, man. It's what I'm reading in Psalm 64th chapter. It says the shadowy group. And why are they called a shadowy group? Because when somebody's moving in the shadows, they're moving, they're not trying to be seen. They're trying to move in a way to where nobody can see them, in a very secretive, very evil manner. Because obviously it has to be evil and a bunch of wickedness going on, because otherwise, why are they, doing it in such secrecy? You see? It says the shadowy group, which was founded in 1954, infamously bans media and enforces a code of silence, fueling concerns of hidden agendas and backroom deals shaping the world's future. Because that's exactly what it is, man. It's exactly what I'm reading in Psalm 64 chapter. It says Swedish Prime Minister Ulf Kristersson will address the EU's competitiveness and his country's support for Ukraine against Russia. His spokesperson told Reuters transatlantic relations lead the agenda, with Ukraine, critical raw materials, and AI also slated for discussion, according to documents viewed by Reuters. It says, unlike similar events such as the World Economic Forum's annual get-together in Davos, Switzerland, no media are invited to cover what goes on during the meeting, and attendees themselves tend to remain tight-lipped about what has been said behind the conference's closed doors, the Epoch's Times noted, right? Because the things that they're talking about is how they're going to, like Pinky in the Brain, like the brain, take over the world, man. You see? It says among the topics scheduled for discussions are transatlantic relations, the Russia-Ukraine war, the U.S. economy, artificial intelligence, depopulation, and migration, the authoritarian axis. Right. All these things they're talking about is all, in their playbook of how they're going to, bring in this new world order, man. Bring in depopulation, bring in this MOTB, CBDCs, universal basic income, 15-minute cities. You will eat the bugs type shit, It says there is limited other information about the event, as the meeting are held under the Chatham House rule, named after the international affairs think tank in London, which states when a meeting or part thereof is held under the Chatham House rule, participants are free to use the information received, but neither the identity nor the affiliation of the speakers nor that of any other participant may be revealed. Right, because they're basically telling all these different people that are at these meetings, because a lot of these people are businessmen, they're well-to-do, the top of whatever level that they're on. They're giving information on how to, further bring in this new world order, man. Whether, through these different businesses or whatever the case might be, they're all having these meetings and telling them, look, this is what you need to do so that we can set this thing off the right way and put things in order to where we can have the dominance, you see? It says the organizers say this privacy allows participants to take part as individuals rather than in their official capacities, meaning they are not bound by any office they may hold or previous publicly stated positions on the issues for discussion. And it says what notable participants include all these people right here. Look at all these: Stacey Abrams, CEO of SageWorks Productions. All these different people, from Sweden, from the U.S., from France, the prime ministers, CEOs from Canada. What else we got here? From somebody from France, chair and CEO of Tamaris and Associates. Look at this: President Champa Lumad Foundation, Burrow Fatih, Energy Director. You see, chair and CEO of Thales Group. Calvino Nadia, President of the European Investment Bank. You see, all these individuals that they're talking about, they're all meeting so that they can get their their globalist orders, man, and how they're going to set, how all these different companies and CEOs and their businesses are all going to be either funded or used in order to bring in this new world order. Look at this. You got the vice chair of Nestle, the president and CEO of Saab. I think that's a motor company. Founder and chair of EQT Groups. Oh, look at this. Alex Karp, CEO of Palantir Technologies. We know what Palantir is all about. Mass global surveillance, all type of people. Look, the director of the White House of Science and Technology, all these devils, man. They're all meeting together to establish this new world order. And they're all getting their orders on what they need to do specifically in their particular fields, man, to get this thing done. It says, our society faces numerous challenges, and we must find ways to have open discussions, even if not everything is fully transparent, right? Because it's not for you peons and you peasants and the average day people to know what they're in there talking about, because it's going to be something that's going to be used to destroy and to enslave you, man. Hey, but like they said, hey, let me get this. Don't matter anyway, all right? Because the Lord sees all and knows all. Let me see something. No, let me get this. Let me do this way. Yep, this is let me see something. Yep, this is Ecclesiastes 23:19. It says, such a man only feareth the eyes of men, and knoweth not that the eyes of the Lord, or what are the eyes of the Most High? The angels, man. The angels are always watching and looking and hearing every single thing, and they report back to Yahweh. So there's nothing that's going on this earth, even these meetings in secret, that the Most High is not privy to, man. And it shows you that Esau's a damn fool to think that, he can operate without the Most High catching wind. It says, and knoweth not that the eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of men, and considering the most secret parts. He knew all things ere ever they were created, so also after they were perfected, he looked upon them all. You see? It says, and this man shall be punished in the streets of the city, and where he suspected not, he shall be taken. And that's what's going to happen to these elites, man. Like I said, when Yahweh makes his second return, all right, these heathen are they're going to get it, man. And Yahweh is going to open up his fury and his judgment upon all these damn devils, man. That's why the Lord is sitting in the heavens and he's laughing at shit like this, because it's all really futile. It's all really, it's all really going to come to naught, man. So these devils, they can hide from men. They can hide from the people. They can hide from the masses of the people, but you can't hide from Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, man. And the scriptures tell you that there's nothing that's hidden that's not going to be revealed. And at any moment, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai pleases, man. He could just put the spirit on one of these attendees, man, to just come out and just spill the beans, man. And just, the Lord put the spirit on him to just come out and have a guilty conscience all of a sudden and just, meet with somebody and tell them every single thing that was going on in these meetings and what, these what they were meeting about. Just like that, man. So, hey, man, it just shows you at the end of the day. That's why at the end of the day, the best thing to do is to fear Yahweh Bashem Yahushai and to kiss the Son, man. But we know these devils and these elites and these heathen nations, they ain't going to be built like that. The Lord got them like that for a specific reason. But the time is going to come when Yahweh comes and judges these devils and sets up his authority and his throne, and we burn up all the Edomites after 1,000 years of slavery in our kingdom. Hey, all these nations are going to fear the names of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Remember, his name alone is going to be exalted after he comes this second time and does, you know, and gets busy on these damn heathen and on these nations, man. So with that, I just want to do a quick lesson on this. Lord willing, it was edifying. I'm sure more information to come out about this as the days go, and we'll probably get a glimpse of some of the things that was being discussed by certain particular insiders or things of that nature. But yeah, Lord willing, this is edifying. All praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai for putting the spirit in me to do this lesson. Lord willing, you are edified. Shalom.